All right, and we are back and ready to go straight into the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Level 1 Data Organization RTA run by CrispyMe. Good luck, Crispy. You're going to do great.
Yo, thanks, Kungfu. All right.
Hello.
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 We're all here.
Well, we're all here. All right.
It's the calm before the storm.
Yeah. All right. So, hello, GDQ. My name's CrispyMe. I'm a Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix speedrunner. Today, I have a lovely category to show you with level1.org. So, start off, I'm just resetting the game because we're actually going to do some RNG manipulation. So, we do that by resetting the game and just loading it up. So, again, I'm doing level1.org, which is essentially a boss rush of all of data organization. So there's 14 fights that I'll be doing, and I'll be doing this on the hardest difficulty, which is critical mode, and I am doing it at level 1.
Yeah, and specifically, Crispy does not have any stat boosts at all.
Yeah.
Like, that is banned in this category. So it is straight up the level 1 stats you start with on a normal, like, new game.
Yeah, so I'll show you my stats, and like, I have not stat boosted at all. I'm at base stats, and essentially, like, if I get hit at all, I'll instantly die. So hopefully I can avoid that.
This category is the definition of a glass cannon build. In older routes, they used to have ribbons on as some armor that they would farm for, but they do not have that anymore. Crispy is rocking different armor called shock charms. That's actually gonna boost all of his thunder-based attacks, all of his thundagas. But yeah, you can see he's got his abilities, but he is legitimately level 1, dealing level 1 damage out throughout all of this. So
Yeah,
he's gonna have to come up
five
with some very
strength
creative
and
ways.
10 magic. Not the greatest,
Yeah.
and obviously I'm level 1.
God.
So. Oh, also, by the
Alright.
way, we're Spikevegeta and Jhobz on comp.
Yeah. Spike and Jhobz, awesome commentators.
Before he goes in,
We're not important.
Before he goes in, I'm just going to preface this by saying this run goes really, really fast. He's going to fight all 16 super bosses in the game, including Sephiroth and Lingering Will, because you all threw down a ton of donations for that. Thank you all so much. Made that way
Thank you so much. That you all are very awesome.
This run goes really
All
fast. Kung Fu on hosting. You're gonna have like one spot to read donations. I'm gonna call it out. I want to see how many donations you can get in that time. Crispy, let's kick it to you and get this run started.
Awesome. So timing will start after after the fight loads. So when the music starts, timing can start.
All right, so here we are on Data Axle. The first of our fights, you're gonna look up in the top right corner and see we've got 15 health bars to deal on basically all these bosses. We've got the Mysterious Abyss Keyblade on, which has Blizzard boost. Axel, believe it or not, a fire-based enemy will be weak to blizzards. Crazy thing. So he's going to be utilizing Reflect and Blizzaga a lot. Chain combos off that revenge value. Go for it, Hobbs.
So another thing to note, take a look at the bottom right corner of the screen for a second. Look how Sora is getting hurt. That's because the ground is fire. It will not actually kill him, but it will take him all the way down to 1 HP. So even if he wasn't going to die from a hit from anywhere, he would after that. He is going to get rid of that fire pretty soon because you cannot finish the fight while the ground is still on fire. He is looping Axel right now with all of these combos, using tons of reflect damage into those Blizzaga finishers like Spike was talking about. Here's the reaction command in order to clear the ground so that way he can actually finish the fight. And just look at how much damage he can do. Even on level 1, there's a little bit of scaling going on with the super bosses. Bam, fight 1 down, just like that. Awesome job. There's some scaling going on, but a lot of it also is just knowing what is going to be the best tool for every single fight and having all of that extra like damage equipment on wherever you can. Like Spike was saying, Mysterious Abyss, booster Blizzard. Next fight, Luxord.
Yeah, Luxord going into it. Don't blink. He's going to win these minigames really fast. Throwing a Thundaga, you can see he won that minigame instantly. He has to select the correct input of the 4 different spots on the bottom menu. Look at the bottom left. Because of the RNG manipulation, he already knows which of those is going to have the correct input because of the RNG manipulation at the beginning. But he has to be very, very fast with it, frame perfect on each of them, taking out, throwing in the Thundagas, which with those Shock Charm armor pieces will do just enough damage to where with one more minigame coming up right here. You should be able to push it over the edge and into the mini game. You could skip this mini game, but it's actually slower, so he's going to be eating it and going for a very fast mini game at the end. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable like feat that you can do these mini games bufferless. Normally we talk about doing them with the pause buffer, like just pausing constantly so you can see exactly where that mini game is going. Watch this ending.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Unfortunate. So
Very
sadly
close,
that
though.
ends my RNG manipulation, so we'll just have to do these next few fights a little normally.
That's okay though. He's just gonna end up. I mean, it's a little scary now because now you can look at that time gauge. Luxor's got a bunch of time, but that's okay. He'll be fine. That bufferless strat is so difficult to do. The timing on just like pressing all of those inputs really fast is unbelievable. Let's see. Now you can see him kind of going for it a little bit how he would ordinarily go for it. And even that was really, really fast. And just
Yeah.
like that, DM takes him back down to 0.
So again, my RNG manipulation's over. So, but obviously I can deal with this still.
The RNG manipulation was only going to last through the next 2-stage fight anyways, so luckily it doesn't like mess up the entire rest of the run or anything like that, but it is going to mean that he has to potentially do a bit of reacting in these next two fights, which are one data organization member. It makes sense, don't worry about it.
Swapping over to the Decisive Pumpkin Keyblade, that is our strongest ground-based combo Keyblade. It has combo boost, which will boost our finishers based on the combos. And now we're going to be doing a lot of combos with Reflect into Slap Shot into Reflect. By utilizing the Slap Shot in the middle, that breaks up the Reflects, allowing each of the Reflects to deal damage in addition to the Slap Shots. So even at level 1, look at that damage output. Look at the top right corner, dealing nearly a bar on every single one of these combos.
All right, in these longer combos, this is the DM here from Xemnas right now, so he is not actually invulnerable to the magic attacks, but if he were to try to attack in the physical combos, it wouldn't go very well there. He pops into limit form afterwards to try to deal a little bit of extra damage, but since the RNG manipulation is done, had to pop back out so he would be available, so he would have Reflect available if he needed it, like right now. He's gonna go back into limit form again, get that MP back. Going into drive forms uses drive gauge, but it will refill all of your health and MP. Now Zantetsuken into Ars Arcanum. This is a classic limit form combo, and that's gonna finish off the fight.
Very nice. Skipping out on the building reaction command where Xemnas decides to get his Spider-Man on and run up the building, saving a lot of time right there. But now we go into phase 2. If Crispy dies in this fight, he's gonna have to do phase 1 again. And what he's going to effectively try to do is get right up into the eye of the storm and reflect each of these large orbs. It's level 1. These will kill him if he takes the hit. So he wants to keep Reflect up, but still break them up with those slap shots so each of them deal big damage. Already nearly 3 bars in. Have we mentioned yet that this is level 1 and he's got this kind of damage output? Right. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, that reaction there, that dodge roll from Crispy, that is like proof that the RNG manipulation is not working anymore. Normally, you manipulate the RNG so that he just constantly spams those orbs and get big reflect damage, which means that that's what Crispy's used to. If he has to quickly react to see that he's using a different attack, that is unbelievable timing to be able to make sure that happens. Every time he sees those orbs, that's what we want to see, get that big reflect into explosion damage. Now we're going to see lasers as well, another thing you would normally skip with the RNG manipulation. Reflects your friend here, just like everywhere else, but you only have so much of it before you run out of your combo, so you do have to throw some guards in there occasionally. Repping Magnet there for a moment, just kind of try to stun the boss here as he goes into further lasers, so should be able to get more reflect damage here. We're getting kind of close to the end of this fight.
Yeah, you can see lots of just cool reflecting damage into pulling the reflect towards the boss with like an aerial dive or a slide dash or something. So you get the damage from the physical attack, but also the explosion off of the reflect, dealing big damage. He's just got to do about another 3/4 of a bar. He's got him close to under 1 bar. Sees to get a reflect, and that'll do it. All right, Kung Fu, this is your one shot for donations. Give me as many as you can in the next 90 seconds.
Oh my God, you made me so stressed to do this, Spike.
I'm
Why
so
would you do that? Okay, we have a $10 donation from PDRS96 who says, "Hi everyone, here's $10 for Pump It Up. Back in March, I won 100% in Kingdom Hearts 2 on Proud, but the data organization bosses almost made me give up. I can't wait to see them get destroyed at level 1. We have a $10 donation from Aubrey who says, favorite game of all time. Good luck, Crispy, with a backward smiley face. We have a $100 donation from Paladin Knight, who says, Crispy, you're going to absolutely crush this. Show everyone how far we've pushed this category since last time. Let's hit that 1 million mark. We have a $50 donation from AscanHawk33, who says, Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of my favorite games. So hyped to see Data.org. And we have a $50 donation from Uncreative Accountant, who says, have to donate for my favorite series, Kingdom Hearts. Can't wait to watch Crispy destroy these data organization fights. How was that?
That was awesome.
That was pretty great.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Thank you, everyone, for those donations. That's awesome.
Shouts to Kung Fu for killing it on hosting for the last like 5-6 runs. I don't know, it's been a while. Yeah, again, guys, everyone get in your donations. We're, of course, trying to get that donation total as high as we can, try to push past the 1 million today, and also get that Pump It Up showcase run for the end of the run. We got lots of hype runs coming up, including stuff like Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I'll be commentating for that as well. Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels races, gonna be very hype. Finishing off Xemnas 2. So that is the end of the RNG manipulation part of the run. We lost it about halfway through, but Crispy's sitting there. I love seeing a runner being able to react to that sort of stuff. But now it's time for Lexaeus. Now, if you look at the top right corner, he's got a power level. Go for it, Hobbs.
He does have a power level in the top right, and that power level is actually also kind of going to give you a good indicator of what phase of the fight the boss is in. This is actually a boss who can kind of bounce between his multiple phases at almost any time, and actually Crispy's taking advantage of that. All of his spacing and thunders at the beginning were so that he powered up right away and got into his second phase, which means he's going to be able to just skip on the part of the animation in which the boss would normally go between phases. Look at that. Just like that, he's already halfway done with this boss fight, using reflects on all of the ground-based attacks here, and trying to specifically apply the damage as much as possible by getting other like physical attacks in, so that way the reflect will actually apply. Once again, skipping straight into his final phase without letting him power up to do it, and without letting him do the animation to do it, finishing him off with a Faraga.
Very nice. Now, we saw the application of a couple of really overpowered abilities, those being Final Form, Firaga, and Duck Flare. We'll get to those in other fights because they will have more applications, believe it or not, including going into this fight with Saix right there. We're going to be utilizing Duck Flare basically throughout the fight. Duck Flare, for whatever reason, on the English version of the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 HD versions of Final Mix, got powered up, specifically on the English version. I don't know, but thank you, Square. We'll be utilizing that as much as we can. So we're going to try to stun lock the boss effectively, getting into little shots worth of Duck Flare, getting in some reflects, throwing our elixir so we're prepared to do our next Duck Flare for effectively a stun lock. And then also utilizing the aerial spirals, the little spin Sora does in the air. For whatever reason, a weird little quirk, they actually do boosted damage while in Duck Flares. That's why you're going to see him not finish his combos, but just trying to get in as many of those, maximizing his damage whenever he can.
So I just made a mistake. I hit him into the air, so he's going to DM after he reaches the ground. But all I have to do is just dodge this for a bit.
Yeah, and the way that Crispy knew he was going to DM, and also the way that he knows when certain bosses are going to retaliate and how to handle that with Reflect, is based on a mechanic called revenge value in this game. So basically every boss has a number that we refer to as a forced revenge value, and every single type of attack adds a different value to their revenge value, and when it hits a certain number. So basically, like, if he's doing Reflect, he's adding a bunch to a hidden number, and when it gets above a certain amount, the boss is going to forcibly retaliate. It's very nicely done on finishing up Saix. The boss will forcibly retaliate when he hits that number, and so there are a lot of tricks in order to get that number to lower or to get him to not retaliate even when he's above that number that he's using all throughout this entire run.
Now we go into Demix, the worst piece of RNG in the run, at least the worst that we cannot manipulate in any way. So everyone, this is a childhood nightmare right there, all these water clones. He's always gonna start with 13 water clones, and then he's gonna bring out 50, 75, and 25. I don't know why I said it in that order, but I did. 25, 50, and 75 in a random order. He's gonna be utilizing Duck Flare to try to just clear the clones as fast as he can. Also try to just kill them with Sora, with stuff like fires, explosion combos, as much as he can. He's got the 25 left over right here, utilizing one more Duck Flare, and will be popping into Wisdom form here pretty soon. Oh, and then there's still the 50. I miscounted. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm jumping in my
Got
notes.
some more. Yeah, we had the 75, 25, that's 50. And yeah, ideally you want to finish these waves right as Doug Flare ends, so that way you can kind of just start hitting the boss immediately with Wisdom Form or with whatever you want to use in that specific point. Now, here is a tricky thing. Remember that revenge value I was talking about? Well, something about when Goofy is using Tornado here means that while you're hitting him with Faragas, with that Wisdom Form Faraga, he actually is still like not taking extra revenge value. But now we're getting the boss really low, so he actually wants to let him move and get into this corner. He's got him pretty good spot right now. Yeah, there we go. He's fully into the corner.
Just barely not in the corner. So this is a little scary. I have no more Mega Elixirs, so I have to completely rely on my party to provide all my MP.
Anybody who's played Kingdom Hearts knows not the best to rely on Donald and Goofy to do anything. Goofy's got some Mega Elixirs. Hopefully he's going to throw it to him at some point.
And Goofy can't throw Mega Elixirs while he's using that Tornado, so then it's Donald's job, and we all know Donald does not like to heal you. So hopefully he can make this happen, because this is the big one. We got 99 Water Clones to deal with here in Wisdom Form with Faraga. For some reason in this game, fire beats water. It's apparently not a Pokemon meme. Someone, I don't know, alert
Thank you, Donald.
barely gave him the Mega Elixir time there. He wants to use the Duck Flare limit there as well. Gets the boss down to 1 HP and finishes him off with Faraga.
That was
For
very,
once,
very
Donald
scary.
he actually helped. Thank goodness.
Good job, Duck. Yeah, again, wanting to get him in that corner so that those water clones did not disperse too much, was able to react to it very well. And just like that, we're on to the next fight. It's time for Marluxia.
This is my favorite fight personally to do.
Yeah, you take
it. Is so cool. Look at that number above Sora's head that's going to show up in like a second here. That number is referring to your level. Extra proof that we're at level 1 here. Now, most of the attacks from this boss don't actually deal damage to your health bar. They deal damage to that number. So if he wasn't already going to die from one hit from anything, he will absolutely die from one hit from anything in this fight. Now, lots of reflects here to go into Faraga. We have to prevent that pool attack, ideally, that the boss wants to use in his second phase a lot. And he can also try to make sure he doesn't over-damage him too much. And then he wants to let him use the pool attack that I was just talking about right here. He's going to use Comet to make sure that he has some invulnerability frames, isn't going to get hurt, so that way he can use lots of reflects on the boss attack. He knows what attack the boss is going to use there. Now he pops back into final again in order to use more Faragas for the end. Again, this is kind of like working with that revenge value mechanic in a way that is going to prevent the boss from actually being able to retaliate.
And again, I don't know if we actually explained Final Form Firaga. The reason why we utilize Final Form Firaga is such a common stun lock strat in these fights is because it doesn't add any revenge value for whatever reason. So you have to have good spacing away from the boss to manipulate that. But yes, all of a sudden you can stun lock them quite a bit. Now we go into just maybe the straight up sexiest fight in the run. We've got Roxas right here. Now keep in mind, there's 2 different sets of attacks that he can go into. Crispy's gonna be trying to go for that Thundaga damage, but if he gets a different attack, he has to react to it immediately and defend himself. So, utilizing that reflect, we're trying to get to kind of a storied segment of this fight where we're going to try to steal Roxas's Keyblades right here. He's going to do this unbuffered, which is very tight timing. Grab both those Keyblades, and ideally, we're going to go through the last 12 bars of this in one freaking combo, never giving him back those Keyblades. Going into limit form so he can utilize Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora's limits, utilizing Ars Arcanum and also his base combo ending in Zentetsuken. Now, Crispy has optimized this fight down to the point where he's actually going to be cutting off the Ars Arcanum short. The utilization of Ars is to actually have the iframes through the first half of it. So he knows exactly when Roxas is going to retaliate, be able to Rs through the first part of that, and then get to those Zantetsuken's off of the finishers each time. Throwing elixirs, reapplying his limit form when he runs out of drive gauge, already down to under 2 bars of health, going for another Rs through that attack. Again, just knowing where that revenge value is at all times. See ya, Roxas. There you go.
Unbelievable. That is such a super cool fight.
Wow.
And I also want to make sure that people know we've been talking about how like great Reflect is and how like it's kind of the OP ability that prevents you from taking damage while dealing damage to the enemies simultaneously. Reflect is nerfed in that fight. Like it's actually weaker in that fight. It's really cool. But we got to go into Larxene. This is the fastest Data Org fight in the entire group. It is super cool. He's going to first try to make sure that he forces Larxene to split into 2 clones. Now these 2 clones will both individually take damage towards that health bar on the top right. Once she splits up, now he can use Final Form with Firaga to try to deal damage to both the clones at the same time with Explosion Finisher as well. Look at that health bar on the top right start going down, and then at the end, we're going to use a Comet. I'm not even going to talk, just look. It's done.
Reminder, this is level 1, by the way.
This is level 1.
5 bars of HP, gone.
Just gone. Donald Comet, in that specific way, in that situation, is really good because there's those 2 clones that are both taking damage constantly from it. But we can't stop. We got to move right on to Zexy and Spike.
All right, time to take out this nerd. He likes books. We don't like books. We don't read here. We're first going to use some Firagas in order to get Goofy and Donald outside of the books. That's a little quirk where you're not able to use Duck Flare, your limits, while you're in it. Now, he's actually weak to Thundaga. We're going to stun lock this nerd and keep him juggled in the air constantly. Beat 'em up block would be proud of this. Now we're going to be going into another Duck Flare. Now his revenge value we've been talking about, that is skyrocketing right now. He's supposed to retaliate right away, but for whatever reason, this little quirk, when he drops to the ground, he gives you an extra little bit of time to fit in your combos. Go for another Duck Flare. We're going to be throwing up the Thundagas, 1 more, and he is dead. All right, see ya. Zexy.
It's unbelievable how fast the bosses fly from the end here. We are just 3 away from the end of Data Org. So Vexen is up next. This is the ice boss. So you'd think we're going to use fire, and you'd be right.
My God.
He's at the beginning, there is a little bit of RNG here, though. Vexen can move left or right. Hopefully he moves right, but obviously Crispy will know what to do if he moves the other way. He decided to stay in the middle for a moment. Now he's moving left, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Now, the gimmick of this fight, in that top left bar, there's a data bar there. The boss wants to try to spawn Anti-Sora, which is going to have an amount of health based off of that data in the top left. And you can actually prevent him from spawning Anti-Sora, but we want to spawn it here because it will help us do the DM skip. Now he's going to take out Anti-Sora and Vexen's shield at basically the same time, using a lot of Final Form Firagas, and then reflecting the big ice attack that would freeze you, and so that way he can just keep using some more Final Form Firagas, and then just a little bit extra finish off that fight.
A little bit bonus, nice. All of a sudden, there are 2 fights left. We got Xigbar and Zoldan. And so we've been utilizing Decisive Pumpkin. It's got the combo boost ability with a good strength stat on it. Now we're going to be switching over to the Fatal Crest Keyblade. Fatal Crest has an ability called Berserk Charge. When you are in your MP recharge state, when it's in the pink bar in the bottom right corner, then you lose your finishers, but you can do infinite combos and you actually gain strength. That in combination with extremely tight timing and Duck Flare, we are going to try to stun lock Xigbar the entire time. Xigbar, one of the banes of casual play and one of the banes of speedrunning as well. These are extremely tight timings that he can keep these horizontal slashes going the whole time. 1 combo, 2 combo, 3 combo, chain another Duck Flare, land on the ground, throw another Mega Elixir to queue up another Mega Elixir, go into more horizontal slashes. Again, this is an extended combo because we are in MP recharge state with Berserk Charge. We've already got him below 3 bars of health. He's going to keep it going. This might be the last one. Might need 1 more, or I can't count the buy.
I cannot stress just how difficult that timing is. You can't mash square for the horizontal attacks there. You actually have to specifically time every attack very precisely. Runners believe it's about a 3 to 5 frame window to keep that stun lock going while you're also doing the Duck Flare and everything else. Now, we're going to see a pretty similar strat here with Zoldan. Lots of Berserk Charge once again, but it's much scarier. Zoldan can do a lot of really troublesome attacks if you let him break out. And so he's going to be using that Duck Flare once again, dealing just a lot of damage and lasting even longer than it would if this were on PS2 or the Japanese version of the game. So he's just, again, using that Duck Flare, get extra damage, pops him into that that pink MP recharge ability, so that way he will not get any finishers on his attacks. And unfortunately, he popped out a little bit here, but I think he should be able to recover this.
So this is the last fight, so time will stop after I deal the final blow for this fight.
good recovery right there. Was able to get Donald and Goofy back to live. Apply another duck flare. 5 bars left.
Getting him from the, like, just keeping that stun lock going into a next duck flare is super scary. He's got just a little bit left. This is probably the last duck flare. Get ready on that timer. Crispy, call it out.
Time.
Unbelievable, dude. That was amazing.
Deathless, level 1,
Deathless.
glass cannon build. Great stuff by Crispy.
That was so cool, especially with like the RNG minute failing too. It's really easy to take a death on one of those Xemnas fights when you don't have exactly what you are expecting, like just appearing for you next as the next attack. So that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, getting RNG manipulation is very important in this category because it saves essentially 2 minutes. And for a category that's very short, that's a lot of time saved. Sadly, I didn't get it off, but you know, did a pretty good job in reacting into what I got. So I think next we'll be going into the level 1 super bosses incentives. So I'll be fighting Sephiroth and Logan Roll at level 1.
This is my favorite part. He has to load the game right now.
So yeah, I have to load my file just to show how fast or easy it is to die. Instantly dead. If I make a simple, easy mistake or like any mistake, that's how fast I can die, by the way.
That is my favorite part, is where you're like, oh, I gotta load a save. Let me just go quickly die to any of these bosses immediately.
All right. So I'll only do this once, but I think we're gonna try and have a little fun with this. So again, I'm level 1. So I should be using this Keep Legacy as a combo boost, but I think we're gonna spice things up.
Oh man,
Where are you? We're gonna use
The
lovely
classic.
Sweet
Finally
Memories.
getting it. Spike and I have been waiting for Sweet Memories
For so long.
Sweet Memories Sephiroth for so long. This is great. All right, Sephiroth fight is unbelievable as well. These early combos. By the way, they want you to use a reaction command whenever he's gonna do that big like Omni Slash type attack. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna reflect instead for some more damage. Sephiroth is invulnerable to most magic except reflect, and Magnet. We'll get to that a little bit later. Right now, though, he's going to be reflecting a lot of the attacks, doing a guard break, and then on his second combo, most of the time, he'll be using explosion, sometimes on the first combo as well. That'll pop him back, force him to kind of reevaluate what he wants to do, and then most of the time, he's just going to start attacking you again. There are several different patterns that Sephiroth can do, and there are 3 phases to this fight. It's actually getting pretty close. Yeah, he's in phase 2 already, because he could start using these orbs.
Yeah, this is a much more reactive phase right here off of phase 1 where you can kind of get him in a little bit of a loop. So let's see what he gets right here. All right, dodge away from that attack. Now has to stop this attack because if he is able to finish it off, he'll send Sword at 1 HP and 0 MP. Obviously something you want to avoid at all costs.
There are some tools available to Crispy to react if he starts to take damage, or if he, just kind of doesn't get a pattern he's expecting. This is one of them right here. Using the Trinity limit. Ooh, that's unfortunate because he decided to send Heartless Angel right after. Crispy had to prep a Mega Elixir so it would land right after the attack landed. A little bit too early, and that could have been costly. But now he's got his MP back. He's back up to full health. He's going to be able to reflect these orbs. They're actually hitting the boss as well, which is pretty funny right now. Gets that hop, knows that's an opening for him to be able to start attacking. Again, second combo, going to use that explosion. It's going to push the revenge value of Sephiroth high enough so that he's going to start attacking. It popped into the air for that one. That messes with the amount of revenge value the boss is taking from your attack. So he had to kind of stop and be reactionary. Now he's going to have to stop another Descend Heartless Angel. We're going close into third phase here.
Yeah, so right now he's going to get as much damage as he can going into this last phase. He's going to try to time his attack in order to catch him right as he finishes his power-up and then get massive, massive damage off of Ragnarok right there.
Yeah, Magnet is used here in this phase just to kind of protect you. It gives you just a little bit of protection from his attacks where he's jumping around really fast. Now he's going into Trinity again here. Doesn't have enough drive to go into limit form, so right now he has to throw this Mega Elixir or he will not be able to get his MP back. Now he's got enough drive, so after this Trinity, he's probably going to pop into limit form to try to finish this fight with that classic combo of Zantetsuken and Ars Arcanum. We'll see. There it is. Knocks the boss up into the air. Just going to actually use a Ragnarok instead, and
Nice. Well, time, no, not time. That's half of time. Halftime.
we got one more. That was a great fight, Crispy.
Yeah, all done
thanks.
with the 0 strength Keyblade of Sweet Memories. I want to give a shout out to Crispy for utilizing that. Do you have any driver covers?
I do have some.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah, because ideally he wants to also, he's doing this off one file, so Lingering Will, he wants to have his full 9 dry bars for as well. That's actually very, very tight to utilize 3 different dry forms he wants for Lingering Will. So he's actually going to pop into Valor form and then leave. By then leaving the world in the form, they refill all of your dry gauge. Now we go into Terra, Lingering Will, whatever you want to call him, the final super boss of this game. He's destroyed through all of these in like a lunch break. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. Just a quick small note as well. He actually only has 8 drive bars, which can be potentially be important later. So Terra has a bunch of different attacks he can open with. He's going to use Comet because some of the attacks could instantly kill him if he didn't have some iframes. It was actually a good attack pretty much, so that's great. It also means that he's not using Bike Phase at the beginning. There's kind of 2 different attacks that Terra can, or 2 different like phases that Terra can decide to do at any given point in his first 2 of 3 phase fight. There is a Rising Sun kind of move, which is what he is doing now, and there's a Bike Phase. Ideally, we don't want to see Bike Phase in the second section here because it's very rough to deal with. Now, that's a forced retaliation based on his HP, and it looks like it's probably not Bike Phase because he did another Rising Sun. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to punish that one, so he's gonna have to back off and wait for the boss to give him something he can work with. This will work. That is going to change the revenge value of the boss, but he knows how to deal with that. This boss has an extra armor mechanic to it, doesn't it, Spike?
Yeah, extra armor mechanic where after you do the first little bit of your combo, or one combo, he's going to be able to take a lot. He's going to have good defense against it. Slowly, as you hit him, that will sort of break it. So you can see he's doing a little chip damage right there. After he gets out of this combo, then he's going to be able to start doing bigger damage as he goes. Still sitting here in phase 2, and keep track of that dry bar in the bottom right corner. Currently at 5 bars. This whole time he's been trying to fill up that bar after the final form Firaga in order to get it to the full 8 bars. He utilized 2 usages of limit form at the end of the fight. So going for more aerial spirals here, applied on top of a duck flare, coming up on 7 bars right now, trying to get away from those whip attacks.
He's using Duck Flare there because he knows the boss is really close to that HP value where he's going to immediately break out and start attacking. So Duck Flare just lets him get a little bit of extra damage in before he moves to the next phase. Now we're into the 3rd phase of the fight, the DM phase. Desperation move, Abound. This boss is not taking any damage right now while using this move. You can see Crispy's just having some fun with it, attacking him anyways. That's right, he's also trying to make sure he gets his drive back if he needs it. He's at 8 bars now, so he's pretty good. Got to guard the rest of this. Oh! Ooh. It's hard to do that while we're just talking in your ear, man. I tell you, I don't know why he even let us on here.
It's all good.
Yeah, just to show how easily he could have been dying throughout this entire run, got all the way to the final fight. But yeah, so we're going into the next version of the fight, version 1. So again, applying Comet right at the beginning to have those iframes off of whatever his opening attack would have been. Now again, he's going to be popping him up in the air, utilizing Comet's finish, or not actually using Comet's finisher, but going in, breaking through that armor mechanic. He's going to be going into Final Form Firaga here soon in order to use those 5 bars and just cut through the first phase as fast as he can.
That boss opening with hopping on the bike and dancing around, that's the Bike Phase thing we were talking about. If he is going to use Bike Phase, you want it to be in phase 1 because then you know he won't use it in phase 2, and you can kind of deal with it a little bit better in phase 1 because you have to wait for him to finish the first attack anyways. So now he's pushing him all the way into phase 2. This is that Rising Sun attack I was talking about before. He can follow that up with the whip, or he can follow up with more Rising Suns. That's why you saw Crispy dash away rather than immediately go for the punch. He's now able to just keep working on dealing more damage to this boss, try to get him to that 3rd phase again. Using Duck Flare. He started attacking again, so this is going to be a little bit scary. Probably going to pop a Mega Elixir. There it is. Keep everybody healthy. You need to have Donald alive in order to use those Duck Flares.
Yeah. And again, we're keeping track of that bottom right corner. He's going to try to build it to 8 bars because he wants to use a limit form stun lock combo effectively right after that DM at the end. So he's close to 7, getting nice quick run away, getting away from that whip.
Okay, we're into the DM phase once again. That's where he died last time, but I have the faith it's not happening again. Now, he only has 6 drive bars, so he's going to use the limit once again. Comet here, and look at that drive bar. It's still increasing even though he's not dealing any damage to the boss. That's why he's doing all these attacks here. He really needs to get to 8. There it is, because that means that he can use 2 limit forms potentially in this fight.
Has the guard coming out of it. Oh, very nice. Now he's going to apply one fire to just give him some stun there. Go into limit form, throw up that ether or that elixir in this instance, and then start his Ars Arcanum. The elixir landing after the usage of the Ars, refilling his MP instantly to keep this stun lock going even further. Again, only the final hit of Ars Arcanum actually does any damage. Now we're going in the final bar and a half damage, dropping out. Fire to keep the stun loop going, back into limit form. We need one more bar, and here comes Ragnarok for time. Woo!
Hey. There we go. First try.
First try.
First try every single time. What a legend.
That was fantastic. I'm someone who says that I think it's almost better to have like one death in there so people just get that context of how easily you can be dying everywhere anyways. So that was super cool to see. And you nailed the different phases as well, like bike phase showing up the second time.
Yeah, definitely not an easy fight, especially on level 1. Well, that's level1.org and also level 1 super bosses with Suffy and Terra. I hope you all enjoyed the run. Thanks for Spike and Jhobz for the commentary, and thank you for Kung Fu for hosting during my run. If you all are interested in Cage speedruns, we have a community Discord. If you're interested in level1.org or any percent, we have plenty of fantastic community members that are willing to help out. I guess shout outs to like Insert Logic, like really good run. Like if you want to see speedruns, like really good runners, like Insert Logic T and Violent Gamer. Insert Logic is doing tons of grinding on Cage 2 80% level 1, and Violent Gamer is running Cage 1 beginner. And he's actually doing a run today in a few hours, so I would highly recommend you all watch that. And also, there's also a new rando, like a randomizer for Cage 2 that's really recent. And if you like randomizers and you love Cage 2, this is perfect. Like, it's really awesome. I highly recommend. And we also have a Discord for that.
Yeah. Crispy is just thankful this GDQ run is over so he can just go play rando the rest of his life.
Yeah, no, it's like, if you need speedruns, then you can play randomizers.
Thanks so much for having us on, Crispy. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, GDQ, and let's get that 1 million. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Woo!
Well, that was an incredible run. It's as a Kingdom Hearts fan myself, just watching that level of skill is amazing. It's so much fun. Also, props to Crispy for putting up with Spike and Jhobz as commentators. I'm just kidding. You two are both wonderful as well. I am getting ready to head off myself, but before I go, I would like to throw in a few more donations for you all. We have a $20 donation from Zalco, who says, here's a haiku for the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix run. Axel proudly says, come here, I'll make it all stop. Then you beat him up. We also have a $25 donation from Professor Shinobi saying, a haiku. I'm glad there's another one. Who wins a fight? 13 undead in black cloaks. Or one Keyblade boy. I might be biased from when I cosplayed Luxord and Zexion. Donation goes to support the Pump It Up run. Stay healthy and stay safe, everyone. Yes, keep in mind the Pump It Up is the next bonus game coming up later this evening. So let's make sure that we get to that goal. We are almost at 30,000 out of the 120,000 we need to see the run in this marathon. We are also now almost at 6,000, so we are currently at $5,800 out of the 8,000 to see that Flying Mount Glitch demo for Horizon Zero Dawn coming up in a few hours. So make sure you continue to get those donations in for those runs. We've been having some really awesome runs this morning. I've had such a blast hanging out with you all during all of this. Next up, we have a Super Hark Bros race. This is a 100% race with Ugg Rochester, Super Ben, and Papa Nug. So get really excited for that. This is going to be really amazing. Everything's great. GDQ's great. I always have so much fun. It's been wonderful hanging out with you all again. This is my last bit hosting. during this week, but I will still be around for a few more interviews and another daily recap, which we've had a ton of fun doing. So glad there's been some great feedback on that. Thank you all so much. I'm glad that you enjoy it as much as we do. We really love to hang out and recap together. It's super fun. So I will see you all later. I am signing off for now. Dr. No will be up next as host and will do a wonderful, fantastic job. So thank you all for hanging out this morning. It's been a pleasure. We are heading off to a quick ad, and we'll see you soon.
There is a world that exists beyond our own, hidden on the edge of shadows. To liberate this realm, we must become the warrior of darkness.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2020, powered by Twitch. My name is Dr. No, and it is my honor to be here on the microphone for the next few runs, taking you through the next few hours here on this beautiful day. I hope you're having a great time enjoying some of these phenomenal runs, and I hope you're ready for some great, great, great action. We have some amazing donations come up, and I want to let you know that we are coming up real close. We are just about $2,000 away from hitting that flying mountain glitch demo for Horizon Zero Dawn. We really want to see that done. If you want to see and learn how you can perform the flying mountain glitch in Horizon Zero Dawn, we are just about $2,000 away. So we can make that happen. We're very close. We are very close to $800,000, everybody. That's a lot of money. We can do it. We can do it, and we can do it real soon. We can do it with your help. So let's get there. And we've got a lot of people helping us, and we got a lot of donations to get through. So let's go. We got $10 from Cure Light Wounds saying, a haiku. Summer games done quick. Runners racing to the goal, not wanting to end. We got $50 from the Java Brew. So excited to see some of my favorite people from an amazing community race against each other for a good cause. Also for Nug, Dad, I'm open. We have $120 from Glitchcat. The GDQ and Kaizo Mario communities mean the world to me. Speedrunning has connected me with some of the most amazing people I've ever met and some of the best friends anyone could ask for. Here's to a great race and many more to come. Special thanks to Tech Crew and Dr. No on the mic. Thank you so much, Glitchcat, for your very generous donation. We have $20 from Lady Rock Laura. Thank you, runners and hosts and couches and people behind the scenes. Such an incredible event. We have $50 from Third Wall. Good luck to the runners, and I will match this $50 donation if everyone in chat spams @PapaNug. We have $50 from T7 Bros 109. Another day, another $50. Keep up the good work. $25 from D Zentra. I look forward to SGDQ every year and normally have to watch replays of a lot of the runs. This time around, I'm working from home so I can actually watch nearly everything. Shout out to my brother, Krish, who introduced me to GDQ a few years back. It allows us to stay connected even though we live in different states now. Thank you, Doctors Without Borders, for the wonderful work you do. And thank you, speedrunners, for making this happen during uncertain times.